Let's take a closer look, and here's a look at what the Senate looks like. As we heard, Fox News has called control of the U.S. Senate for the Republicans with at least 51 seats, having gained 2 seats tonight. 6 are still undecided, but again, Fox News calling the control of the U.S. Senate for the Republicans.
And here's the current state of the U.S. House of Representatives there. We know that 3 were flipped. So again, 83 undecided, Republicans gaining 1. Right now, we still don't know if Republicans are going to hold that majority lead, but we'll see.
Yeah, you know, and as we talk about this, the focus of the nation now swings toward Oregon and Washington, because we have some local congressional races that could help determine the control of the U.S. House of Representatives. The seat for Oregon's Congressional District 5 still up for grabs tonight.
Incumbent Republican Lori Chavez-DeRemer is seeking re-election. She's being challenged by Janelle Bynum. So we want to show you that race right now. You can see incumbent Chavez-DeRemer trailing behind Bynum. She's leading with 48% right now.
Yeah, you know, Democrats would love to flip this seat. It was expected to be close. It is close. You know, tens of millions of dollars were spent on this race. Nora, if you turned on your TV, your radio.
Oh, we all saw the ads.
Yeah, I mean, just we were inundated. A lot of outside spending. But as it stands right now, Janelle Bynum with a lead. Again, not not been called at this point. It's too close to call. But Janelle Bynum has to be at least pleased to be at a 2% lead this late in the evening. We, of course, will stay on top of this race.
Okay, let's go to another closely watched race. This one is Washington's 3rd congressional district, a hotly contested race between Democrat incumbent Marie Gluesenkamp Perez and her Republican challenger, Joe Kent. So this is also a race, just like District 5 in Oregon, that has implications for the balance of power in the House. And that's why this one is so closely watched. But you can see Gluesenkamp Perez leading with 52%. And this is a rematch of 2022, where she also beat Kent. And it looks like it could be that way again now.
Fox 12's Adrian Thomas has spent the evening at the Bynum watch party in downtown Portland.
Adrian, what's the feeling there? Earlier, I know things are probably wrapping up now, but earlier as those numbers were coming in.
Well, Pete, Nora, I did talk to some of the campaign staff for Janelle Bynum, and initially we were told she was going to give some brief remarks here at the Oregon Democratic Party's event here in downtown Portland, but they ended up telling us that because this race is so close, there's still ballots being counted. They were going to send out a statement instead, and we did just receive that statement a short time ago. In that statement, Janelle Bynum did say she's confident in her campaign's path to victory. And the statement also read in part, quote, "I'm grateful for the outpouring of support for my campaign and the vision that we built together of Oregon over the last 16 months. Thank you to everyone who trusted me with their vote, volunteered for the campaign, and spoke to their friends, family, and neighbors about the importance of this election. We'll provide updates as Oregonians' voices continue to be counted." So the Bynum campaign confident that they will win this race, but they are still watching all of the results come in, as we are as well. Again, Janelle Bynum's campaign putting out a statement saying they are, quote, confident in their path to victory, but watching all the results as those ballots in Oregon's 5th congressional district continue to be counted. I'm going to toss it over now to my colleague Dylan Scott, who has been following the Chavez-DeRemer campaign on the Republican side throughout the evening. Dylan, what have you heard this evening?
Yeah, Adrian, good evening. As you can see behind us now, that Republican watch party here in Oregon has wrapped up. But as everyone was really leaving for the night, that District 5 race on everyone's mind to see if they could get, obviously, some local votes here in the last couple of minutes, last couple of hours here to continue her run congressionally. Now, Lori Chavez-DeRemer did not show up here tonight to this watch party. She decided instead, her camp told us, to watch with family and friends back at home, as she does often on most of these election evenings, including the last one when she did take that congressional seat as well. Now, looking at these two candidates, a tight race between, again, Chavez-DeRemer and Democrat Janelle Bynum. about a dozen or so races overall that could really shape the House of Representatives. The incumbent always touted herself as a bipartisan candidate, proudly displaying that on 300 of those bills in Congress, she has signed on for about 84% of them. However, the GOP aiming for full control of the White House, Senate, and House of Representatives to potentially pass legislation on a number of major issues, from immigration to abortion and the economy. Chavez-DeRemer says while she puts Oregon first, she welcomes national eyes on this vital race.
It is about telling Oregon's story. We're going to continue to hold this seat. I think Oregon's 5th district is going to have a great representation in electing me and sending me back, and we're going to do the work. So yeah, people are watching. We're going to see it from the East Coast come on in. When these election results happen, we'll be watching, and we'll seal the deal, and we'll keep the majority.
Now, keep in mind, this is a race that could still take a day or two to be decided, much as it was in 2022. Again, we've reached out to Lori Chavez-DeRemer's camp to see if she has any comments on these close results, and are waiting to hear back. From now at the Republican Watch Party in Oregon, Dylan Scott, Fox 12 Oregon.
Okay, Dylan, thanks so much. In Washington's 3rd district, incumbent Marie Gluesenkamp Perez and her supporters are also closely watching the returns.
Yeah, Fox 12's Amel Elhel is live in Vancouver with a look at what's going on there. Amel?
Pete, Nora, as you can see, things have calmed down quite a bit here at the Hilton in Vancouver. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp Perez made her big election night speech around 9 tonight, and that really was the star of the show, what everybody was waiting for. And I want to give you a look and a listen to what this room was like just 2 hours ago.
Our hometown hero, Marie Gluesenkamp Perez!
Thank you. So acting the big guys from family businesses.
Dubbed Southwest Washington's hometown hero, Gluesenkamp Perez is looking to keep her seat for Washington's 3rd congressional district, which is one of those races that is going to be watched nationally because it could help determine control of the House of Representatives. But Gluesenkamp Perez isn't really worried about that. She made it clear tonight her focus is Southwest Washington, not D.C. That's why her campaign has knocked on hundreds of thousands of doors these past few days. And that kind of boots on the ground approach is what the Congresswoman has really built her campaign around, as she did an RV tour around her district, trying to take the attention away from national hot button issues and bring it back to the local issues affecting local people. And she kind of illustrates that in her own family. She owns an auto repair shop with her husband and says they too have run into these sorts of issues, and that's why she says her experience belongs in Washington.
So many people do not identify them, like their political identity is not who they are as a person. Like you have to talk to people about who they are and what they believe in and what they're fighting for, why they get up and go to work in the morning. Like that is how you understand what your values are.
The night is still young here in Vancouver, but as of now, Gluesenkamp Perez is leading the polls for Washington's 3rd congressional district. She is trying to keep that seat she earned also quite narrowly back in 2022 after she won with just some 2,600 votes. We'll have to wait and see.
Our hometown hero, Marie.
So many people do.
If she does, she says if she does win this race again, that it'll be time to get back to work. Live in Vancouver, I'm at Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Amel, thank you. Meanwhile, Fox 12 Spencer Schott is live at Joe Kent's election party.
And Spencer, why don't you give us a recap of what happened there tonight? Is it still happening? It sounds like it is.
Yeah, Pete, it's still happening. It's winding down a little bit. Kent didn't show up until just before 10 p.m. because he actually spent most of his evening down at the Clark County Election Center. He said that there were long lines of folks waiting to vote, and he was down there encouraging them to stay in line as long as it takes. Take a look at this video that Fox 12 got of those long lines outside the voting center, and it shows that they were waiting in line well after 9 p.m. And even with the preliminary results showing Kent trailing behind the incumbent in this race by about 4 points, he is still holding on to that confidence, saying he thinks many of those people who are waiting in that long line could still vote for him.
I think right now we're doing pretty well in Cowlitz County, doing well in Lewis County, and it's actually tighter here, I think, in Clark County than it was last time we did this.
in 10 voters rated the economy as the top issue.
Yeah, and as we have been saying all night, this is a race that is being watched nationwide because it could determine who gets control of the House of Representatives next year. Numbers are still coming in. Kent is remaining confident, but it could be a while before we are able to call this race. Reporting live in Hawkinson, Spencer Schott, Fox 12 Oregon.
Okay, Spencer, thank you. Incumbent Democrat Marie Cantwell and Republican challenger Raul Garcia are in the U.S. Senate race up in Washington.
Yeah, and Senator Cantwell was seeking to serve a fifth term, and she will. As you can see here, Maria Cantwell has been projected as the winner of the U.S. Senate race in Washington with 60% of the vote to Raul Garcia's 40%.
And next up, Washingtonians are voting for a new governor to replace incumbent Jay Inslee, who is not running. And you can see there, this race has been called for Democrat Bob Ferguson, the attorney general there, running against Dave Reichert, King County Sheriff. Well, we have much more to come here tonight.
Yeah, stay with us. And before we go to break, another look at the Electoral College map on this historic night. Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, will be the next president of the United States. We've got more live coverage right after.